with potential plans for matches and more. This is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Asked about his physique, Roman Reigns said this in a video.
You gotta be miserable all the time until you get so used to it that you're not miserable anymore. This is what you gotta eat. There's no secrets, there's no shortcuts. Eat clean, work hard, get in shape.
As he previously announced his upcoming retirement from in-ring competition, New Japan's Hiroshi Tanahashi said this during a company press conference. "This time I have left as a wrestler and executive will give me a lot of valuable experience so I can transition into full-time office life with confidence. The people we have now are definitely more than capable to bring NJPW into its best era ever, and I have no concerns whatsoever." On Raw this week, Carlito would say he needed to learn Chinese when Iyo Sky and Kairi Sane spoke Japanese. Now, Brian Alvarez has said this in regards to the reactions from Sky and Sane, noting on Wrestling Observer Live, "I was told by the same person that said that the Carlito line was an ad-lib that Iyo and Kairi did not have a problem with it. They saw it as him playing an idiot, and that was that." Talking about the NXT show at the old ECW arena, Ringside News wrote that WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels has drawn a bold comparison between NXT and the iconic ECW as the developmental brand gears up for a special episode at the legendary 2300 Arena in Philadelphia on November 6th. Known as the former home of Extreme Championship Wrestling, the 2300 Arena holds a special place in wrestling history, and Michaels is excited to bring NXT's energy to that hallowed ground. During the October 21st episode of Monday Night Raw, a vignette narrated by Michaels aired promoting NXT's upcoming event at the historic venue. Speaking with Bully Ray and David LaGreca on Busted Open Radio, Michaels opened up about his thoughts on NXT's connection to the spirit of ECW. "It's huge. As strange as it sounds, I thought it was so awesome and innovative what ECW is doing at that time," Michaels said, acknowledging the influence of ECW's rebellious style on WWE's attempts to capture a similar vibe. He emphasized that NXT carries on that tradition, with a focus on young talent pushing boundaries and making names for themselves. Michaels reflected on ECW's impact and how it inspired WWE's creative direction, admitting, "I recognized that at that time, from a WWE standpoint, we were never going to be able to do it. You only strike those things a few times in your career, and you guys," speaking to Bully, "did something very special back then. There has always been, in the eyes of WWE and my eyes, an aspect of how can we do that again. NXT encapsulates all of that. This event will mark Michaels' first time inside the 2300 Arena, and he expressed excitement about performing in front of the passionate Philadelphia crowd. They brought it out of you," he said, of the fans who fueled ECW's energy. "That's what I'm hoping happens when NXT goes there. They are hungry, maybe in a different way, but they are hungry and excited for getting out on the road. Everybody understands the history of this building and what was built." While no matches have been officially announced for the November 6th episode, Michaels emphasized that NXT's roster is eager to embrace the venue's history and carve out their own legacy. They want to build on that and do something on their own. "Everybody is jacked and excited," he added. Tickets for the event went on sale on October 22nd, with fans eagerly anticipating how NXT will honor ECW's legacy while forging its own path. when it comes to a potential match in WWE between Rhea Ripley and Dominik Mysterio, WrestleVotes noted on Backstage Pass. I know it's been brought up. Unfortunately, I don't know how high it has made it. There's a real desire on some level of creative to do this match before the angle phases out. Giving his thoughts on WWE's treatment of the Hurt Business faction he was a part of, Bobby Lashley said this during a virtual signing for K&S WrestleFest. "It was kind of a spit in the face. We were never in front of a live crowd. During the pandemic, a lot of guys sat at home. I'm not going to do this or that, and it was us saying, it's work, we're going. We did everything. We were on half the show most of the time. We came out of the pandemic and people started resurfacing, oh, I'm ready to work. What about the guys who were putting the time in during this dangerous time? We got overlooked. That was a little bit of a spit in the face. I think we could have come back and done some big things together. They just didn't want us. Different strokes for different folks. Different people like different things. When the regime changed, the regime wasn't too high on me at all, and we're definitely not high on MVP and Shelton Benjamin." During that same virtual signing, Lashley also talked about his future plans following his departure from WWE. As Ringside News wrote that, "I had a little boo-boo, so I took some time off to fix myself." Lashley joked, "I've been working out hard, and I think the next few weeks you should see something pop off. It's time to put pen to paper and get back to these fans." Lashley revealed that multiple offers are already on the table, spanning wrestling, MMA, and even boxing. He mentioned upcoming talks with Steve K, co-founder of Paragon Talent Group, saying, "We're going to roll the wheel and see what makes sense." When asked about a possible return to TNA Impact Wrestling, Lashley hinted that a rivalry with TNA World Champion Nick Nemeth would be cool. Lashley also expressed excitement about possibly facing Moose, calling him a good friend and a phenomenal wrestler. "He's a good friend of mine and phenomenal wrestler, so that's a feud I hadn't really been able to jump into, so there's all kinds of different feuds that look great," Lashley explained. On the AEW front, Lashley had thoughts on Shelton Benjamin's debut match against Lio Rush. He admitted, "Lio is my dude. I saw Shelton fight Lio last week, and I wasn't too happy about that." Lashley even teased the idea of reconnecting with MVP and Benjamin, saying, "That's always a good opportunity to jump back in." Responding to those that are critical of his physique, AEW's Adam Cole told TV Insider, "Early on, I recognized part of being a public figure is expecting to hear scrutiny, expecting to hear judgment. That's what being in the public eye really means. People are allowed to say what they want to say. Does it feel good? Not at all. It definitely doesn't. At the same time, if I'm someone who wants to be in the entertainment business and in the public eye, I know it's something I have to expect to deal with in a lot of ways. I know everyone handles it differently. For me, I've gotten to the point where I kind of ignore it or block it out as best I can. I'm focused on making me the best version of me. I try not to get too discouraged with what social media can say. I also think it can be motivating for some people. It can be a challenging time for people, but I try to block it out as best I can. It's part of being a public figure where people are going to voice their opinions." Mentioning his decision to re-sign with AEW, Daniel Garcia said this to Renee Paquette on Up Close. "I re-signed with AEW last week, and I couldn't be happier with my decision. I'm 26 years old, and it's one of the biggest decisions I've had to make in my life. I think I made the right one. AEW has a lot of momentum right now. Okada, Ospreay, Mercedes Moné, me, all in 1 year. We're putting our flag in. This is where the best in the world choose to be. We have choices to go everywhere. We choose to be at AEW because we believe in it and because we think it's something that can improve wrestling for hopefully forever." Touching on the possibility of a bout between Gunther and Goldberg in WWE, Ringside News wrote that the wrestling world was buzzing after an explosive segment between Gunther and Goldberg during WWE Bad Blood. With Gunther's upcoming title unification match against Cody Rhodes at Crown Jewel looming, the reigning World Heavyweight Champion took a moment to stir the pot by addressing Goldberg, who was sitting ringside with his family. Gunther's promo targeted Goldberg directly, saying that he regretted previously calling him his favorite wrestler, and adding, "I hope you're a better father than a wrestler." This insult didn't sit well with Goldberg, who immediately jumped the barricade in an attempt to confront Gunther before being held back by security. The heated moment left fans speculating whether WWE was laying the groundwork for a future clash between Gunther and Goldberg. Many thought this could set the stage for a dream match at Survivor Series or even WrestleMania. However, according to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, there are no plans for Gunther versus Goldberg at either Survivor Series or WrestleMania. Despite that, it seems WWE still has plans for Goldberg moving forward. During a recent Backstage Pass Q&A, WrestleVotes hinted at future involvement for Goldberg in WWE, stating there are plans for Goldberg in the future. While nothing is confirmed, speculation is now turned to whether Goldberg could make an unexpected appearance at Crown Jewel to interfere in Gunther's title unification match with Rhodes. With multiple events coming up, such as Saturday night's main event, Royal Rumble, and WWE's next Saudi Arabia show in February, WWE has plenty of opportunities to book the dream match fans are clamoring for. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.